Okay, everyone, we are going to be talking about the desktop, which is the first thing that you see when you log into your computer or when you turn on your computer. Um, right over here in the center of the screen, I'm moving my pointer. That's the white arrow that I'm moving around in an H shape. When I move it around, I can move it anywhere within the screen here. And if I go over here towards the left, you see a bunch of icons. These icons are for opening up folders or applications or software that's on your computer. What you want to do is you kind of want to hover over any of these, and when you do, you can click on one that you want to select. Now, selecting doesn't mean opening, it just means that you have clicked on it once. So for instance, here's iTunes. Right? If I click on it, you'll be able to see a square around it. That means it's selected. But if I double click it, which means that I'm going to click 2 times with my mouse and I'm going to left click too. Your mouse has 2 buttons on top, one on the left, one on the right. Right now, I'm going to go to that iTunes shortcut. And the reason I know it's a shortcut is because it has this little arrow inside a box right here. So if I double click the iTunes, 2 clicks really fast with my mouse, it opens up iTunes. Okay, so that's a program that's on my computer. I can close it by going to the X. I'm closing up iTunes. I don't want to listen to music right now. But if I look around, you'll also see other folders. You'll see folders like this that look yellow, okay? And they look like they have some papers inside of it. And over here, this one looks like it has more papers inside of it. Those are all folders. There's also a shortcut to a folder over here. Remember? So this little arrow with the inside of a box determines that it is a shortcut to lead you to that folder that's somewhere on your computer so you can see the contents that are inside. Okay. If I click on that folder here, I have to double click and it shows me everything that's inside. If I don't want to look inside that folder, then I come up here and click on the X and I close that window, which was basically the folder. If I go over to the trash up here and I double click it, that means it's opening up the trash and whatever is inside that trash I can view. Okay, I'm going to close the trash can. And the other thing that I want you to know is how to create a folder on this desktop. Okay, so some of you guys might think that these folders were already there, but they were not. What you have to do is you have to come over here in a blank area of your desktop and you can right click. When you right click, that means you're clicking on the right button on top of your mouse and only once. When you right click once, you'll see a context menu, and that menu has different options. Right now, we're just going to go over to new. That means hover over it or go right on top of the word new, and then you'll notice this arrow that's right here. This arrow tells you that there's a submenu. And if you look towards the submenu and you hover over the different options that you have there, you'll notice that you have folder. So you can click once on folder and that will create a new folder right on the desktop. Once the folder appears and the name seems to be new folder and it's also highlighted, all you need to do is start typing whatever you want the name of the folder to be. You don't even have to click in there. A lot of students will click in there, but since it's already highlighted, there's no need for that. You can just start typing on your keyboard and you can type, for instance, your name. If you type your name, and that's going to be the name of that folder. If you type something else like Raphael's homework, then that will be the name of that folder. So that means that you might be storing some of your homework in there. I'm going to click away. And when I click away, the name will stay as the name of that folder. So clicking away just means that I'm going to go over here where there's nothing and I click. See, the folder now has Raphael's homework as the name. And if you hover over it right now, there's a screen tip that tells you that this folder was created at 3 o'clock. And it was created the first month, 25th day of 2021. And it also says that it's an empty folder. So it's an empty folder because it's brand new. If I double click on this folder, you'll notice that it opens up a window. That's like looking inside of this folder. So over here, you'll notice that there's an empty area. That is the contents window that determines what's inside of that folder that you just created, which is empty. If you read here, it says this folder is empty. If you look up here, it's telling you that Raphael's homework is what you're viewing, and there's nothing in there. This is called the address bar. The address bar is very important because it tells you where you are in your folders. Up here on the top, it shows you Raphael's homework again. That's just saying that that's the name of this folder. This is the title bar of this window. And in the title bar, you usually see the name of a program or the name of your folder. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close this. There's nothing in there because I just created the folder. It's brand new. All right. So if I want to, I can put stuff in there. I have a song that's right here. You see it? It's right here on the desktop. And that song right there, I can put it in that folder if I want to. Okay, it's not my homework, but if I want to, I can just drag it in there. So dragging it in there means that I'm going to click on it, hold the mouse button while I'm clicking, dragging at the same time, and I could bring it right over that folder. And you see how that folder has a square around it? That means that I have moved the song that's there, the MP3 that's called My Jungle Style, and I'm putting it into that folder. I haven't let go of the mouse button, but when I let go of the mouse button, you'll notice that that song is no longer going to be on the desktop, but it's going to be inside of that folder. So I let go of my mouse button now, and it dragged it. So that's pretty much drag and drop, which means that I can click on anything and drag it into a folder and drop it there. So for instance, let's look at another thing. I don't know what this is right here, but I'm going to grab it and I am going to click, drag, and put it right over this yellow folder. And when I do that and I let go of the mouse, it automatically goes in there because you're basically moving it. That's how you get things into your folder. In this case, all these files that are out here, I'm just moving them inside of there to be a little bit more organized on my desktop. So what else can I move in there? Let's move rest of answers. This one here, I'm going to click, hold my mouse button down and drag. So clicking and dragging allows you to move some of these files or folders or icons somewhere else. In this case, I'm moving it right into that folder that says Raphael's homework. You see that? And now it's missing from up here because I moved it into this folder. Now, if I put my mouse over that folder, you can see the screen tip that tells you that there's My Jungle Style and some other files inside. If I double click this folder, you'll notice that there are 3 documents or files that I actually saved in there by dragging them in there. right? So I clicked and dragged, or dragged and dropped them in there. That's why you see 3. Okay, that's how you get them in there. One more thing. If you're working, I'm going to close this window. If you're working on a file, go to Start menu, and then go over to Windows Accessories. Right now I'm scrolling down using my mouse wheel, and I'm going all the way down to Windows Accessories. If I click on Windows Accessories, I will find a simple word processor called Notepad. Okay, I'm going to click on Notepad, and it's going to open up a window. This window that opens up is for writing a message, a letter, any simple type of writings that you want to do by typing into your computer. You can do it here. I'm going to type something in here. I am the teacher. Okay, all right. I am the teacher, and you can write anything you want, right? Afterwards, let's say I wanted to save this because I want to work on it later, or let's say I was writing a song. It doesn't matter. Once I'm done writing whatever I wanted to write, I go to File, and every window has a menu up on the top with different categories. In this case, I'm going to go to File. When I go to File and click there once, I can go to Save As. And Save As will allow you to save this message into the folder that you created on the desktop. This window appears, that's here, you see it? It's a Save As dialog box or window. In here, I get to choose where this letter that's behind here is going to be saved. And remember, I want to save it into this folder that's right here. What I need to do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to look for the desktop, because remember, Raphael's homework is on the desktop. So I go to the desktop over here. I click there. Once I do that, then I'm going to move down to find that folder named Raphael's homework. Okay. Oh, here it is. Remember, when you click over here, that means you're looking on the desktop. Remember the address bar? It's indicating that you're looking at the contents of the desktop. The desktop is out here, right? And these are all in there. And so is Raphael's homework. It's right here. So I go to Raphael's homework, and I have to open that folder so that I can save this letter, I am the teacher, inside. To open that, you click on Raphael's homework, and you can click on open right over here. The open button will let you see inside of Raphael's homework. Now, you don't see the other stuff that's in there right now because this is a different type of file than the stuff that's already in there. But if you look down here, it says file name. I'm going to call this I'm going to click down here, and I'm going to name this something new. I'm going to call it my presentation, right? Letter. Or you can name it whatever you want to name it. What I'm naming is this Notepad file that's up here where I wrote I am the teacher. So I name it, and that file is going to be named that, and you're going to see it every time you open up that folder. So now all I need to do is go to Save right over here. Click on Save. It's going to be saved right on here, right? Click on Save right here. And you'll notice that in the title bar of this program or application, the name that you put or you chose is my presentation letter. So now if I close this, and later on I come back to my computer and I wonder where that file is, you just have to remember that you placed it inside of Raphael's homework, which is right here. If I double click this folder, now you see there's paper on there, right? There's a paper in the icon. So that means that there is files inside. So I'm going to double click Raphael's homework,